All right, uranium friends, next gen on this one, maybe UEC, probably I'll do them both. Monthly consolidation, disregard white line. Monthly consolidation has yet to even begin yet on NXE. Now, life of the stock looks like a pretty darn good monthly chart if you ask me. Let's just take a look at the quarterly chart. I just want to see what the quarterly looks like. Yeah, I mean, look at the quarterly. So the quarterly is just, it's doing fine. It's making all-time highs. There's no consolidation, no thought of quarterly consolidation until 538, right? What's the number here? 540. I mean, come on. It's pretty good. So anyway, monthly chart looks fantastic. Monthly consolidation hasn't even begun yet. So, but you can make the assumption that if the rest of the space is going to have monthly consolidation with follow through, one could assume that next gen is going to do the same thing. So it's pays to look at the other stuff, obviously, but you know, what do we have here? Monthly higher lows since April of 2023, right? So almost a year of monthly higher lows. So is consolidation due? Well, yeah, it is. Does that mean it has to occur? No. This has not even lost its most short term of indicators, and that's the yellow moving average line. Hasn't even lost that yet. So bulls in full control on the monthly chart. Bulls in full control on the quarterly chart. Right? Nice rounding bottom cup and handle psychology, but since it already took it out, it's not really a true cup and handle, but that's a continuation pattern, right? Looks good. Weekly. Okay, so we're starting to see, we've been asking bears. Well, no one's been asking, but this is what you do with technical analysis. You're waiting for the bears to prove it. Prove it, bears. They can't. They can't. They can't. They can't. They can't. NASCARs. They can't prove it. NASCARs can't prove it. They won't produce until 2030. Bears can't prove anything. Still, the Bears can't prove anything. Well, here they're starting to say, hey, we got a little bit of a hold on you guys now. Finally, we've finally taken over on these Bulls. So the weekly has some, your first red flag. And this level is going to be the next level that's going to be problematic, which will be, I got to actually adjust this Fibonacci here. Yeah, so that's going to be a 50% retracement, which is going to start to say, hey, the weekly bull flag is less likely now, right? So because of the size of this drop, the probabilities say that the next bounce, weekly bounce, is going to result in a lower high, especially if it keeps on going down. So the bears are starting to say, hey, yeah, we've got a little bit of a hold of the uranium sector right now. At least we have it with NXE. So yeah, this wedge is, again, you're going to see this similar setup to the 4Us that in my other video, but yeah, so there's a nice little pivot here and a bounce resulting in, let me just make sure I'm right here. 76, what is this? 78. So a little bit of a breach, making a daily lower low off of this little pivot. So, these are the spots where you say, all right, well, maybe I got a bounce here. I mean, if you caught this, you trimmed out. But the bears and you're risk free on the stop. So, but the bears are still in full control here as well, right? Let's go to the hourly because this is where I'm starting to see stuff, right? So again, falling wedge, not any different than the 4Us. So that's what I'm watching. I'm waiting to see. I just want to see if I have this good. Yeah, it's good enough, right? And we have some enough touches here. So yeah, this is a pretty decent falling wedge setup. But this hourly falling wedge can go into the end of the month, right? So you're starting to I think that the dip buyers um, looking to be dip buying, like myself, should be starting to pay attention to some of these shorter term charts on these big board names, right? So, I mean, if you look at this next gen hourly falling wedge, well, where does it resolve? Where is it? Where is there a spot where it's going to be? Okay, we now need to know which way it's going to go. Well, it's right at a key level, right? So 650 becomes really, really important in the very short term. So there's a lot going on here. right? So you have this volume show, but we're still on the hourly, so it's no big deal. So let's look at 650. What does 650 look like on the daily, right? And yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be a make or break on volume profile uh, for these bulls here because then you've got a nice pocket. You know, it's kind of at the end of the support here. So and there's a lot of levels and bounces here to support that, and the wedge resolves in that area. So it pays to pay attention, and it'll end up being daily oversold probably at that spot, and it will be a weekly 26 EMA tap, and it will be, well, not much going on here, right? Nothing much to say here other than monthly support. So big level for 650 on next gen, and I'm going to be looking to be definitely scouting entry in that area, right? So say I miss it, same deal. I've talked about in the other videos, right? I'm just looking for an hourly trend change. It's got to be the first step, the first sign that things are shifting, right? Subtle signs. And now, if you go back like 2 years, which I know nobody's going to, um, I called the bottom in the entire sector because I was looking for those subtle changes. Just one I should go back and repost it. Nobody will care, and everybody will just say I'm full of shit anyway. But yeah, that's the deal. So I start looking at these hourly, 4-hour falling wedges into oversold conditions, into key monthly and weekly levels. It has me interested on NXE. Let's take a look at UEC. I didn't really do anything yet with this one yet, so let's just see what's going on. Yeah, monthly consolidation has not begun yet either. So again, in that regard, similar to NXE, the quarterly chart looks fine, right? Bulls are in full control. Bulls are in full control on the monthly. Uh, Bears are starting to say, "Hey, we're taking a stand here." We're starting to say, "We're going to prove it to you," possibly, right? Prove it, Bears. Prove it, Bears. No Bears can't prove it. Bears can't prove it. Bears can't prove it. Now they're starting to prove it, right? So, key level that we're coming into. Uh, I don't like the way this volume profile looks, but it does start to pick up steam into this level here. Daily, yeah, continuing on its downtrend. Had the bounce. The bounce went absolutely nowhere. Continuing on its downtrend into kind of like an important level, right? So NXE has its important level. UEC is going to. Let's look at the hourly to see if we are getting a falling wedge, which it looks like. I don't like. It's not the best look, but I want to see if we can. I'm just drawing this for people who just do that there. Let's take a look here. See how this plays. Yeah, a little bit of a falling wedge look. It's not the best. This candle was really messing things up, right? So this would be a much better falling wedge, but we have to deal with the data that we have, right? So this is the data that we have off of this candle, and that would be, this is just not even the best. If I want to really get enough touches on this, I could probably take it like right there, okay? Because I'm getting some touches over here. So this is a pretty decent line, and we're kind of at the apex. So UEC, maybe UEC tells us it could be time to get into NXE, right? So, but look at this hourly. This is why RSI is not like the be all end all for me. I mean, this thing is just toasted. It's absolutely toasted and still going down, right? So these shorter term time frames, the bears are undoubtedly proving it, and they're starting to say, yeah, even on the weekly, they're giving us a little bit of a heads up that maybe the move's not done yet, right? So we have to know. We have to come into support here. We see how it interacts with support. So that's NXE and the UEC. The monthlies are fine. The 3 month charts are fine. The weekly is red flagging us, and the daily and below, the bears are in full control. The only hope we have right now is that we have hourly falling wedges to be watching in a lot of names. Over and out.